Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So now that most legitimate law firms have abandoned Trump and his erroneous claims of voter fraud, Rudy Giuliani, blah, 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 has taken the lead in the bogus voter fraud cases, especially in the Pennsylvania battle. So yesterday, Giuliani appeared in court for a 5-hour hearing, and let's just say that it didn't exactly go that great. Although Giuliani started off by saying that Trump was alleging, quote, widespread nationwide voter fraud, he couldn't actually provide any evidence of said voter fraud. And when the judge questioned him about the lack of evidence, Giuliani was forced to admit that, yeah, our lawsuit actually doesn't allege fraud. You see, what had happened was, and then he stated that, quote, this is not a fraud case. So by all accounts, the judge grew impatient with Giuliani. He had to remind him about what was actually contained in his own filing. Trump's campaign originally asked the judge to toss out nearly 7 million votes because they alleged that 2 Republican voters were denied the chance to correct ballot errors. So in their calculation, anyone else in any other county who was allowed to correct ballot errors, that made all of those ballots invalid. And so every ballot should be thrown out. But then the judge questioned how that makes sense. And then in court, Giuliani said, no. All we're asking for is for you to throw out 680,000 ballots from the cities of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh because Republican observers weren't allowed to watch the vote counting process. However, as I reported just recently on the show, Trump's team refiled their petition with the court last Sunday, and they removed those allegations from the newly filed complaint. So yesterday, Judge Brand questioned Giuliani about this change and said, okay, but you're saying they weren't allowed to watch the vote counting, but that's not in this complaint. This newly filed second complaint doesn't contain anything like that. So why am I supposed to look at this now? I mean, what exactly are you asking for? So Giuliani had to admit in court that, we did remove that. It was removed from the second filing judge, but he goes on to tell Judge Brand that he's going to file a third updated complaint with the court, which once again would contain the allegations about observers being denied the opportunity to watch the votes being tallied. Now, this has already been played out. There was actually a determination while this 5-hour hearing was going on in another court where the judge ruled that no, they had every right to ask for 6 feet of distance, not only to protect the privacy of the people voting, but also because of COVID. So it wasn't that they weren't allowed in. It wasn't that they didn't have observers there. They just were kept at a distance. This is so nuts. Giuliani is just out of his mind. I don't know how else to say it. Throughout the hearing, he appeared to struggle. He just seemed out of his depth. At one point, he actually said, quote, I'm not sure what opacity means. It probably means you can see. To which the judge replied, it means you can't. So the defense attorney, Mark Aronchik, went on a 45-minute tirade saying that Giuliani was ignorant of the law, that he was living in a fantasy world. I mean, he literally said this during this hearing. He then urged the judge to dismiss the case entirely. The judge refused to do so. Instead, he gave Giuliani up until 5 p.m. today to file a motion opposing the defense's request to dismiss the lawsuit. Giuliani again appeared to be confused by this. He asked if the judge was asking him to file the third updated complaint that he had mentioned by 5 p.m. today. The judge then had to clarify that no, quote, this is a brief in opposition to their motion to dismiss. I mean, I'm not an attorney, and I know that those are two different things. I don't know. So Giuliani even mistakenly referred to the Biden campaign as the Bush campaign at one point. I'm not sure now if he even knows what year we're in. Maybe he thinks this is still the 2000 hanging Chad debacle. I don't know. Dear God, this is a man who used to run New York City. He successfully prosecuted mob bosses in the past. Now we have to wonder who helps him dress in the morning. I mean, I started thinking, like, did his family maybe install a tracking device, a low jack on his person somewhere to ensure that he doesn't get lost and that he comes home at night? The guy just seems so out of it. And this is Trump's top guy, because again, nobody with any legitimacy wants to be within 100 miles of this. So good luck to you. Good luck with that. Anyway, guys, I will keep you posted. But as always, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for listening to Plants and Politics. The only way we can take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again.